All right, so now I'm going to talk about big issue here. Brandon Staley, right? He has a certain way of doing things, and that is to rely on analytics. Cut to the chase. Sometimes it fucking sucks. Like, what is... sometimes, like, this... For those of you who don't know, which everyone knows by now, he went for it on fourth down, and it was at his own 24-yard line or something like that. Less than 2 minutes remaining. They were up by 4, right? Up by 4 points. It was like 28-24 at that point. And I mean, you can't, like, I don't know, like you just can't be doing that, right? With the game on the line, basically, like, why would you give the Vikings a chance of scoring a touch? Because they need a touchdown. And he actually made that point on the post game of like, well, they were down by 4 instead of just a field goal, so we could go for it. It's almost like, no. That's all the more reason, right? To punt the ball, because you want to make them drive down the field instead of having possession closer to the end zone to get a touchdown. Like, Vikings are not going to go for a field goal in this situation. So you shouldn't even, like, don't even consider that a field goal is going to be taken by the Vikings, most likely, I guess, because if they go for a field goal, if they get a quick one, if anything, like, you know, them going for it on fourth down and losing it, all the more encourage the Vikings to go for a field goal and then get the ball back later if they had some time left. But, like, anyway, they were down by 4. So they're going to go for a touchdown, obviously. So might as well pin them all the way back as much as possible. And that's also sending a message to the defense of like, yeah, we don't really trust you guys to keep them pinned back at, worst case scenario, if it's a touchback, right? Like, I don't know what the thought process. And the thing is, it's not even like a lot of Chargers fans, I've listened to a bunch of Chargers podcast comments on this, and like, this isn't the first time that Brandon Staley has done this. Like, there was a play that was mentioned. I forgot which podcast or whatever, but like, I think last year against the Browns, like, this is something that's happened in the past. And these are the kind of plays, that decision-making plays that Brandon Staley makes, that, it's yes, they come out with a win this game, but it's in these kind of games where it's going to cost them a big game. And I'm sure, again, Chargers fans out there, when you're watching this, like, you're going to be able to call out, I'm sure, maybe 2, 3, or 4 more instances of this, but like, these kind of plays are going to cost the Chargers eventually. And there have been already so many times where the Chargers, like, they blow leads against the Jaguars. They blow the lead. They have these plays where it's based on analytics, and I get it. Like, analytics in this game, I think the stat line was like, 80% or 89% of the time, if you go for it in this situation on fourth down, you're going to win the game. It's like, yeah, well, if you go for it and make it, right, you know what I mean? Like, if you go for it on fourth down and get it on fourth down, if you don't get it on fourth down, I don't think the stats are in your favor, right? Like, it just becomes like humans are playing this game. Humans are the ones playing this game. It's not robots. So, like, to rely so much on analytics, I feel like this was such a common sense play. Like, you're at your own 24-yard line and you're up by 4, and there's 2 minutes left in the game. Punt the damn ball. Trust your defense to make that stop. Take time off the clock. Force the Vikings to be able to drive the ball down the field with the Kirk Cousins, who, hasn't played extremely well this season so far. So, like, again, they pulled out with a win. Chargers fans are okay. They're happy. Oh yeah, we win, whatever. But like, I think our Chargers fans also are like, hey, enough of this shit, right? Let's stop with this heavily analytical type of style of play calling and things like that. But yeah, I don't know. It was a very iffy call. And something that will eventually bite them in the ass in a very important game again. Like, it's happened before in the past, and it's a tough call. But if you look at just, in terms of performance wise, I think Herbert played a really great game, over 400 yards. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, definitely the stars of this game. Keenan Allen 18 passes caught, 215 yards. Mike Williams, 121 yards and a touchdown. Good performances by them. I think, just the biggest story, again, is Brandon Staley's play calling. I think his team bailed him out. because that could have been bad. And I think if they didn't win this game, I don't think he's on that plane on the ride back home. I think he gets pulled. But again, they win the game. Hey, like, it is what it is. Just move on, move forward, you know. But yeah, that was a interesting play call. I don't know why he does it. I don't know why Brandon Staley is going to keep Brandon Staleying. But we'll see how it goes. It's just ballsy maneuver, ballsy call, but I think it has to change. I think they have to just add a little more common sense into this. It's not that they don't have to overthink it too much, right? It's just understand that these are humans playing the game, and hey, trust the defense there to make that stop. And I know he said he trusted defense, but like, hey, like, if you're gonna go for it on fourth down, it's kind of sending a message that you don't really trust your defense. But whatever, we'll see what it is. We'll see what happens. But again, they snuck away with one there for sure.